Hey. So where's everybody based out of? Let's go over that real quick.
We are out of Springfield with Top of the Class Clean, Pam and I.
Nice. Hey, Pam. So I'm based in South Carolina, although our team is distributed across the whole United States, and then we have a couple of team members in Europe as well.
Nice.
So we are based out of Midway, Florida, on the skirt of Tallahassee.
Awesome. And I see somebody just dialed in. Who do we got on the line?
Hi, I'm Phoenix. I'm from Vermont.
Very nice. Great to have you. So we're going to start in about 2 or 3 more minutes, and then I am going to be putting a replay together for everybody afterwards. A lot of people tend to watch this kind of after hours, after they get done work. So this is probably, I don't know, CleanPixel has been working with American House Cleaners Association for a number of months now, and we've done a bunch of webinars. So typically there's a few people that show up for the actual live call, and then a lot of people watch it over the next few days. The idea behind this particular training, and we're going to have a series of trainings, by the way, it's not just blogs. What I've noticed is there's a lot of people that need help with like tools that people are not familiar with at all. Like there's a lot of free tools. I'm a product person, so my background is in product strategy and product management. I've been in it for about 12 years. I've been an entrepreneur. I'm one of the founders of CleanPixel. Love working with Kevin and Grace. This group and community is amazing. It's outstanding. I've been part of it for about 15 months. So have learned a ton about the cleaning industry, have worked with hundreds of cleaning companies. And there's a lot of tools that you guys are not using today that you're probably not really aware of that are out there. And the great part is a lot of them are free, right? Like they're free resources. So I'm going to do some training. Probably the next one I'm going to do is on MailChimp. A lot of people are not really leveraging email marketing to touch base with their customers. That's also something that's extremely important, just to even do like a monthly newsletter, you know, something simple where you're just kind of touching base with people and keeping the relationship going. So that'll probably be the next free training that we do is a MailChimp training. And then I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Calendly. Have you ever heard of that software before? Okay.
No.
So Calendly is I use it for our meetings. And basically it's you can get it for free. There's paid versions of it, but you could send a link to somebody over text, over email, or wherever, and it basically syncs with your calendars, right? So if you're using a system for your calendars like Jobber or ZenMaid or some other system, or if you're just using like a personal Gmail, if you're a solo cleaner, you could use Calendly to book walkthroughs, right? And it's a free tool. So I also want to do a little bit of a training of that. One of our existing clients had asked about that, and I actually did a training with her a few weeks ago, and she's been getting bookings on there, which is great. So I will go ahead and get started with the training. This is going to be very different, I think, from a typical training that I would do, where it's kind of walking you through a slideshow, and you know, I kind of feel it's boring, and I don't really love to learn that way, and I feel like sometimes other people don't either. But the idea behind this, or the big thing we want to take away from this training is there's a really important thing within owning a business, a local service-based business and a cleaning company, that you want to be able to write articles. And you want to write articles around topics that your customers are interested in, things that they're searching for on the internet. And why do you want to do that? It's because that's what ultimately gets you found by some of those people in your local markets, and then ultimately leads them to your website, which therefore they can book a walkthrough or book a clean, right? So I'm going to go very grassroots here and do a digital whiteboard. So let me share my screen. Okay. I'm just going to ask for some feedback to make sure that you guys can see it. All good? Can you see it?
Yes.
All right, great. So I made the topic around blogging with and without a website. Um, Sounds interesting, right? Like, how am I supposed to blog if I don't have a website? There's actually ways you could do that. I will go into that in this training today. But if you had if I were guiding you or advising you on how to blog, I would obviously say that you should do it first on your website, because it ties back to everything to your company. It brings people more directly, closely to booking a service and selecting a service that they can actually get from you guys. So if you do have a website, I would advocate to, if you don't have a blog today, I would create a blog. And I can go into a little bit of that depending on what type of website you have. Most people have a Wix website or a Squarespace or a WordPress website. For any of those three, there are options for you to have a blog. So if there's any questions on that, just let me know. But if you don't have a website, there's something called Medium, which I'll go into this training, that you could use even without a website. And you could still share things on social media. You could share it via text. You could share it via email. So there's other ways for you to distribute your articles or your blogs outside of the website. So why are blogs so important for a cleaning business? By the way, can you see my screen pretty well? Is it pretty small? Let me zoom in a little bit further. Okay. So why is it so important for you as a cleaning owner, cleaning business owner, to write blogs or write articles? Your customers are out every single day going to Google, going to Bing, going to Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, all the different search engines, and they're searching terms: how to clean X, what are the best cleaning products for this, Airbnb cleaning services near me, right? People that are recommended as Airbnb cleaning companies, best cleaning companies nearby, right? Or putting in the city or location. These are things that are people are regularly putting into Google search. And so what ends up happening is Google and all the other search engines, they end up answering these questions for your customers. And what they're doing is they're picking what to show them first and second and third and fourth, right? So that's how SEO or search engine optimization works. It's what gets ranked as the most relevant and the highest quality and the best way to answer that customer's question. That's what Google's job is as a search engine. So one of the big issues is the internet is just full of junk. There's a lot of content on the internet. So Google has a really hard job, and they've got really great people to figure this out. How do we serve up the best quality and the best relevant thing to show this person that just searched best cleaning company nearby or best product for this? And so Google comes up with an answer and says, okay, this is the answer to that question for this particular customer that's on the internet. Ultimately, you want to be the person that it gets led to, right? And this is why you want to write articles, because you can answer questions that people are regularly asking on the internet. And so you could basically, it's kind of a hack or a cheat code to get in front of even sometimes very large companies by writing content that people are regularly searching for, right? And so ultimately, if you become one of the people in those top one, top two, top three spots for answering that question, you want them to be led to your website, right? And so you want a deep link or backlink to your website from your article, from your blog. If you're writing a blog, let's say on what I mentioned earlier, Medium, where you don't have a website, maybe you want to deep link it to your Facebook page. I will take a second real quickly just to say this. It is immensely important to have a website. When we started CleanPixel, we did some research and we found, interestingly enough, 51% of cleaning companies don't have a website as of last year. And so a lot of people are using Facebook business pages as a storefront, digital storefront. People are using Google Profile as a digital storefront. There's strengths and weaknesses in doing that. What I will say is this. As an example, I put out a post, I think a few days ago, that Google's business profile, or it used to be called Google My Business, right? They just made a significant change to their product that's taking effect as of, I think it's August 1st or July 31st. And they're removing all your call history. So what does that mean? That means if you were using Google Profile as your main source of lead generation and main source of, okay, I don't need a website, well, now you have no history of people that have called into your business going forward, right? So that's why you need a website in that case, and you also need potentially a light CRM or some way of tracking people that are calling into your business on a regular basis, right? Creating too much dependency on one thing like Google, right? Google My Business or even Facebook is risky for your business. Ultimately, you don't own Google, you don't own Facebook, you do own your website, right? So you can control certain things. There's also a lot of people don't know this too, but best practices for websites, simple things like putting your full address. Right now, I know a lot of cleaning companies, especially solo cleaners or smaller cleaning companies, don't put their full address on Google or their website because it's a personal residence, it's a personal address, and it's private. That actually hurts you, believe it or not, on the eyes of Google. My recommendation is to create a PO box of some kind and be able to put that on both your Google profile and also on your website, and that'll actually help boost your rankings on Google. Hey, Gary. Hey. So those are a couple tips and tricks as far as, why you should probably think about building a website. It is something that, you could do yourself on like a Wix or a Squarespace, or you could hire a professional or a freelancer to build it on WordPress. So with that being said, obviously the Google and the search engines are kind of organizing that information for you. They're serving up that 1 or 2 or 3 articles that make sense for your customers when they're searching. And if you are the person, you want to make sure it's linking back to your website. So when it comes to articles, let me zoom out. How do you write them, right? I personally, I remember back when I was a kid, I didn't love writing. English class and everything else for me, I was a science and math person. I was not an English person. I didn't love writing. I still don't today. Most people are okay at writing. So you might ask yourself, well, Dan, from CleanPixel, how am I going to do this? I don't really know how to start the process. There's basically 3 different options you have when it comes to writing an article. And we'll go over kind of best practices here as far as what you want to put inside of the article too. So option 1 is basically hiring a freelancer, right? Or a consultant or a part-time marketer or an agency, whatever you want to call it. And these tend to be, as far as quality goes, can rank extremely high, really great quality, all the way down to very poor quality. So you got to make sure you're vetting the person properly. Hopefully you're getting a referral from someone that has said this person does a really good job. They can be very expensive. We've been hired. I do have an agency outside of CleanPixel that we have been hired over the years to write articles. We have a really great SEO person. We charge hundreds of dollars per article to write an article. So it can be very costly depending on who is writing it or who you're working with. And then delivery time can take a few days up to a few weeks, depending on what the workload. If it's a single person, they have a lot of clients, it might take a couple weeks for you to get that information. So you might be a little limited on how many blogs you can put per month, just because of the bandwidth of that person doesn't have a lot of time on their hands. The second option is write it yourself. We've all done that, right? So a lot of us on this call and a lot of our clients, we take on a lot ourselves as entrepreneurs, right? So we tend to do that a lot. The problem is it takes hours, right? It takes time away from the business. You also need to make sure you're doing proper research. So you need to do keyword research based on topics that you're looking at and making sure that they're topics that people are going to be searching for. So it's a little bit difficult to do that. You need to use certain tools like Google Keyword Planner and Moz and SEMrush. There's a bunch of tools out there that you can use for this. And then you got to make sure you're following, just because you have the time and you're willing to do it, and then you also can do the research and do the time for that. Now you got to make sure you're following best practices. And so this is kind of what best practices are for a blog, right? So the first thing you want to put together is an outline, right? What is this blog going to contain? What is kind of the high level topic that you want to go over? So you want to come up with a title. You want to do an introduction. Your introduction should have some sort of like way to hook people or bring them in to say, hey, this is something that I want to read further on, right? You only have a few seconds to grab someone's attention in today's world. And then you got to come up with the body, right? So that's the second part of the structure. And then you want to go over your main points and topics and then supporting details underneath each one. And then ultimately, to wrap it up, you want to come up with a conclusion, and it kind of summarizes all the key takeaways. And then at the end, you have some sort of what they call CTA or call to action, which is, you know, hopefully to book a clean with you or set up a call or a consultation. That would be your main call to action. Go to our website, call us here, book here, something like that. But these are kind of best practices for blogging. The third option is you have CleanPixel write it for you, and I'll go over how that's done. Great thing is we do the keyword research automatically, and it takes seconds. We write at a level and voice that you want it to. So with our recent release in the last few weeks, we added AI personalization to our software, where you can say you want to write in a friendly tone or a professional tone, or be a little bit more assertive or humorous if you want to have something that's a little bit more funny. You can kind of select that and adjust it accordingly. We also include in our prompting and our backend the best practices, right? So we've already included everything that's below here inside of our AI tool. And then it takes about 10 to 15 seconds to write the entire thing. It's really, really fast. So the great part is it does not cost hundreds of dollars to write an article anymore. And that's kind of what we're addressing right there. So before I go into the next part, I just wanted to stop for a second and see if anybody had any kind of immediate questions or anything on this topic. All good? Okay. All right. I hope you guys are enjoying the little bit of a journey map that we're going on here with the whiteboard. It's a little different. All right. So if you were interested in going to CleanPixel and checking us out, you would go to our website, which is cleanpixel.ai. For this particular tool, you would have to make sure that you're on our all AI tool plan, which includes the AI blog. We don't put a cap on how many blogs you can write, so it's unlimited. So you would go for the middle tier $45 plan. This also includes 3 other AI tools, including social media, contract AI, so if you want to write contracts, and then also message AI, which includes a lot of email and text templates. And then it also provides a tool where you can reply back to basically any text, email, or Google or Facebook review, which is really cool. So going into the tool, what you would want to do is you would want to launch the blog AI tool here, and then you want to select a topic, something that you want to write about. So if you look, and I hope this isn't too blurry, we have a number of different topics. We kind of kept them broad because we're able to generate thousands of different titles out of each one of these. So the combination is almost infinite, maybe in the hundreds of thousands of different types of articles you can write about. But we provide a lot of things on cleaning tips, commercial cleaning, if you're doing pet cleaning or cleaning with pets in the home, cleaning challenges. We do things with mental health and wellness for cleaning, minimalist lifestyle, keeping things more organized and organizing tips, a lot of service guides and different things around hygiene when it comes to home cleaning. So a lot of great topics there. Once you select the topic, then it will generate basically 5 options for titles. If you don't like the titles that were selected here, you just simply hit generate new titles and it will generate 5 more automatically for you. And then you just want to let the system know how long of an article do you want to write. If you're doing something for quick and social, you might want to write a short 400 to 600 word article. I would suggest that you go with a medium to longer form if you're going to like your website or if you're writing on Medium. Because typically SEO wise, you want to go over that 1,000 words as a good baseline. So 1,000 to 2,000 is kind of where you want to sit. And then 15 seconds later, it now generates a topic. This was an example of a topic that was written around commercial cleaning and the effects on the workplace productivity. Again, it breaks down, it's got a meta description. I'll explain what a meta description is real quick for everybody. You may have heard of it, but you've definitely seen it. So when you go to Google and you Google anything, if I Google your business as an example, there's a small little summary section after the website that's in this little purple box, and it explains what is on this page. That is what they call a meta description. So if you have a website and you have a blog, or if you have a website and you're thinking about doing a blog and you're thinking about using this tool, make sure within your Wix, your Squarespace, your WordPress, wherever you're having this at, make sure that there's going to be a section that says, is there a meta description for this article? This is what we're providing. This is where you want to basically copy and paste that first section, right? Because it provides a little bit of a preview, I guess you could say. It's better wording as a preview than a description, yeah, or a summary. So that's what a meta description is. And then you've got the introduction, you've got the body, and then you've got the conclusion at the end. So all good. Understood. Now you can generate articles in seconds. Big question is, where can you publish it, right? Like, where can my customers find this information so they can read it and draw engagement for my business? So like I said in the beginning, you kind of have 2 different options. You've got your website, and then if you don't have a website, you've got Medium. For your website, like I said, the main 3 that I have found, anybody on this call not using either Wix, Squarespace, or WordPress for their website, or using something else?
I'm using GoDaddy.
GoDaddy, okay, yep. So GoDaddy does have the option for a blog as well, so that's good. I know that there's companies like Weebly is another one. Webflow is not as popular in this particular industry. There's a couple of other ones that are out there, but GoDaddy I've heard a bunch about. So yeah, GoDaddy also has the option for a blog. So you can add that to your website too. So if you simply search whatever you're using for your website, if it's Wix, if it's Squarespace, if it's WordPress, if you go to Google and say Wix, how to write blog on Wix, it will pull up an actual article for you and a step-by-step instruction on how to write the article or how to get started within their platform. So super, super easy. And, you know, if you have any questions, just let us know, but it's super easy if you have a website. If you already have a blog, you just simply want to write new blogs, right? So to create it, it probably takes a handful of minutes. It's not a super heavy task to start creating the blog from the website. Now, if you're using WordPress and you had somebody build your WordPress website via custom code, this gets a little bit more sophisticated. So you'll have to go back with your developers or your web programmer or whoever you use or an agency that you used, and you would have to work back with them on how to create a blog. So for those that don't have a website, and I could actually argue for those that do also have a website, I would use Medium as well. We're using Medium. We have a website. Let me explain what Medium is, and then what is the value that it brings. So Medium is a platform, I guess you could call it, where people from all over the world write about everything. If you've ever been on LinkedIn, if you have commercial clients, you've read Medium blog articles. If you've ever researched certain things, you've read Medium blog articles. Medium is like the holy mecca of article writing. Just to kind of give you some perspective on things, in the last 3 months, there's been 500 million people going to Medium's website, right? So that's like 1/14 or 1/15 of the world's population has been to this website, right? It's mind-blowing. It is the #1 ranked business consumer service website in the world. Out of all websites across the internet in the United States, it's ranked number 283 out of the billions of websites there are in the world, or in the United States. Just this month alone, they had 170 million people go to the website. So why am I saying this? It has extremely high SEO value, much higher than anybody on this phone call will ever have in their lifetime. Including, by the way, very large cleaning companies, like very corporately owned, very large conglomerate companies that are out there. You could potentially outrank those companies using Medium as a hack. That's why I kind of brought this topic to the forefront for people with a website and without a website, is because you could potentially outrank people with keywords by using Medium, because it will outrank every cleaning company across the country, period. So what ends up happening is you could sign up for this. It's free, which is awesome. You could write, I believe it's unlimited articles. I don't think they limit you to how many articles you can write. The way that they make money as a business, I think they do through advertisements and stuff like that. It's not through like a subscription service. I do know you pay a subscription service if you want some premium features within their platform. But for our use case for this industry, we really don't need it. So we can go ahead and just sign up for the free version of it. So what happens is you sign up for free, and then you're kind of led to this like blank canvas, and it just says title and tell your story. All you have to do is just, if you want to write an article yourself, start typing, right? You could format it, you can do whatever you want. And then ultimately, if you hit publish, that basically publishes it to the internet. You get a specific link that you could share for social media. And I'll go over that. I'll actually do a real-time version of this real quick right after this. And so if you were taking it, let's say from CleanPixel, if you weren't writing it yourself, this was an example of the article that I just showed you that I brought from CleanPixel. I literally copied and pasted this article inside of Medium. And as you can see, it looks really great. All I did was basically change the format for the bold text on the introduction. And that's the only thing I've literally changed in this article. I've actually figured out that we timed it. We did like a timer exercise. And between picking a topic, picking a title, writing a longer form piece of content, copying it from the system, bringing it to Medium, finding a stock image to match whatever we're writing about, which you could also get from CleanPixel, and then publishing it and sharing it took less than 3 minutes, which is like mind-blowing. If you've ever had anybody write an article for you, or if you've ever written an article, gosh, like, you want to talk about time saving, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours for someone to do this. So yep.
Excuse me for just a moment, Mr. That. So you're talking, you're saying over there about using the AI, right? Okay. Let me ask you something, because I have this question. Let's say I want to write something about pet, but what would happen is someone else in another state or my area write about the same thing using the same tool?
Yeah, great questions. So we're using a software that basically runs in the background for a couple things. Number one is it's anti-plagiarism, so that's a big thing. In addition to that, we're making sure that we're not getting the same type of content published over and over and over again across users. So we're storing it in a database and then rerunning it back on our system to make sure that duplication doesn't happen. Is basically the short answer to your question. So yeah, we want to make sure that what you're producing isn't something that it's unique. It's not something that everybody else is producing. It's a good question.
Can I chime in?
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a good question you asked, sir. I just want to add to that. Are we another way of making it? I'm asking a question and giving an idea. Another way you can make it yours, meaning your company, is, and I'm now into the question: Can we put our logo on the blog?
Yes. So yeah, great questions. So let me show you. Let me actually unshare and then reshare. So I'll show you in real time our system. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right. You all can see my screen? All good? All right. So in this case, I already kind of went through the process. I selected the topic of having an impact on wellness and cleaning, and then just put something more generic, how cleaning can improve your overall wellness. And then I did a medium-sized article, and then now I have the content, right? So to answer your question as far as the logo and then uniqueness, let's go over that. I'm going to start over, and I'm just going to select a random topic. Let's just say cleaning tips. So instead of selecting like these 5 different areas or 5 different titles, I can actually write my own, right? I can write about anything, right, that I want. We do offer a flexibility option because we do realize yeah, these are great, topics and things like that, but there's probably other topics you guys want to write about that are not within what we're talking about. So if you wanted to write like a custom article, you could use this field here and write it about your company. In addition to that, because we have our personalized AI that we introduced a handful of weeks ago, in the article itself, you'll actually see that your business name and your website and also your phone number automatically gets added as a call to action on the bottom, which is great. So it's a way to get in contact with you, way to get in touch with you, kind of automatically. Let me just go ahead and select one of these real quick. Just going to go medium size. And then now it's going to generate the title, the meta description, the keywords, and the body and the conclusion. So typically, like I said, it takes about 10 to 15 seconds because it has to do all the research. So now you've got an article, right? So, and then you have a call to action here, and then it actually has the tone of voice on the bottom as well. Now what happens, I can now take this and go over to Medium. I happen to write this article myself, but I'm going to go ahead and hit write. I'm going to paste this in, right? Now, obviously, this is the title, so I want to take this out, and I want to put it up here, and then delete this out. I also want to take out the keywords for a second, and the meta description. And right now, I'm just simply formatting, right? I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting. Didn't mean to do that. So let me go ahead and format a couple of these. I'm going to go bold. So all I'm doing is making adjustments on here, and then any refinements that I want to make, I can make. To answer your question on the logo side, or let's say if you wanted to add a stock image, usually for blog articles, you kind of want to have like a cover shot. because if you're sharing it on social media, you want something to kind of be there. You don't want just like words. So if you go to back to our tool and you go to the business center on the bottom here, we use a lot of stock imagery sites like Unsplash and Pixabay, and I could look up words like cleaning services and things like that. In this case, I'm just going to look up something for like a living room because I'm just trying to give a little bit more of a clean space. So something like this as an example. I'll just download that, and now I'm going back into Medium, and then I'm dropping this on top as a cover shot. So now I can literally take this article and now publish it. I'm just going to publish it real quick, and I'll take it back later. You could put tags on this as well, so it gets better visibility. So you could put tags like cleaning services or cleaning tips. And then say, I'll just put cleaning company. So I'll say publish now. So now it's publishing that story on Medium. So it's literally that easy. And if you wanted, you can now share this directly on Facebook, on LinkedIn, or you can copy this. You could send it to customers for them to read it. You could include it in your monthly newsletter if you want to send out emails and things like that. It's a really good idea. But I have seen only a small number of companies doing this so far, which is, man, it's such an opportunity where you could write, anywhere from 5 to 10 articles a month, and it literally can be done in 20 minutes, right? You could set this up, you could schedule it later, right? Where you can like kind of drift them out, every week. You could do that all from within Medium as well. So if you don't have the technical know-how or the expertise, but you do have a website, you could still use Medium, and it's free. Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
I have another question. I'm sorry about.
No, it's good. It's good.
Hey, well, thank you. I appreciate that. You're so kind.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
what about if we were writing an article? I'm just giving an example. We was writing an article on like a product, like so let's say like a duster or microcloths or a product that we like.
Yes.
So we wanted to like have a link. So the blog is about the product and how we use it, how well it works, how well we like it, the compliments we get on using it, and then we have a link to the product. Is that able to be in the blog as well?
Great
Wow,
question.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
great question. Yeah. So let me go back to the article real quick. What I would do in that case, I don't know. I'm just gonna pretend for a second. So let me just put it up here. Link to product ABC. So what I would simply do is go like this, and I would click this little link, this little chain link here, and then I would basically paste in the link to that product right there. And you could place that wherever you want within the article. So that is an outstanding question for a lot of reasons. You just gave me like a really good idea for everybody on this call and anybody watching this later. That's really interesting if you're like an affiliate of like a product, right?
Yeah,
Like now you're writing an article and there's an affiliate link for like ABC product that you're writing about.
that's right.
That is absolutely an amazing opportunity for you guys. So that's a great call.
Yeah, just for all my peeps out there, cleaning people, that's a cheap way to make yourself digital, and that's very
Yep.
important where we're going,
Yep.
where the country is, well, where the world's going, I should say.
Yeah.
So make
No,
it
for
clean.
sure.
Yeah, make your cleaning company digital, a blog, and have links to other products that you use. You're already using it, you're buying it, so you might as well if you
Yep.
like it. Yeah,
No,
and you're the
that's it.
professional, so people are going to listen to you.
That is a great. That could be a potentially great revenue stream, for depending on how much of a reach you have. But yeah, I think having the opportunity to, and then the other thing is that you have to keep in mind is if you're deep linking or getting backlinks back to your website from something like this, but it's also linked to other things that have high authority, that even ranks it even better, right? So if it's a product that is extremely popular, whatever has a lot of authority on the internet, by linking back to something like that, it provides the search engines even more of better context of like, this is extremely relevant, higher quality, because this is a very high authority product that is being promoted within this article. So that's an amazing point. I didn't think about the use case behind that, but that's super smart. So real quick, just wanted to go back to the whiteboard real fast. So this kind of gives everybody an idea of what we went over today, and then we'll kind of get into some questions if you guys have them. So obviously, number one is people, and when I say people, customers, are searching the internet regularly. That's not going to stop. I will argue, just being kind of a tech person, that the way that people are searching is going to change, and it is already changing today. Google has been talking a lot about this. Microsoft has been talking a lot about this. I do think in the next 10 years, search is going to change significantly because of how AI is kind of going about doing things. People are going to AI to search for things instead of, or recommend things instead of going to search. I do think it's going to take probably 10 plus years to get to that point. So in the meantime, capitalize on it, right? So what are they looking for? They're looking for mostly advice, right, on things like how to clean, what products to use, how to clean, like how to do certain things, do it yourself type tips. They're also looking for recommendations of different services. They're looking for who is the best in my area, right? So using location specific searches to find out who is the best at these things. Sometimes they even drill down into carpet cleaning or deep cleans, like they go after like microservices or smaller services, not just general cleaning. You can write articles around these different problems that people are searching for. So I call them problems just because I have like my product hat on for a second. But people are going to search because they have a problem, right? When somebody searches the word roofers nearby, that means they have a leaky roof, right? Or something's wrong with the roof. They have missing shingles. They have something else going on that's triggering them to go to the internet and try to find a solution for them. So the idea behind the articles is that you're trying to provide a solution to their problem, right? And ultimately that does what? It drives traffic to your website. More traffic equals more leads equals more bookings. And like I said, there's basically 3 different ways you could write articles. You could hire someone for it. You could also do it yourself, right? Write the articles yourself, or you could use a tool like CleanPixel. Makes it 10 times faster as far as the process goes. So you would go to our website, which is the cleanpixel.ai, to get started. I know a lot of people that signed up for this. I think we had about 50 or 60 companies sign up for this. So a lot of people will be watching this later on. Probably 30% of the people that signed up for this are existing customers. So they're trying to see how can they leverage our product even further beyond social media, which is kind of where we started. And so 70% of people that are watching this are not customers today, which is great. So if you have any questions outside of this call, feel free to contact me directly. Our support channel, support@pixelproducts.co. Or if you go to our website and say book a demo, we could do like a one-on-one, and I could kind of walk you through like all the things that we do beyond just blogging. This is just like one tool in the tool belt. We've been kind of obsessed now for a number of months, and I know we have a couple of existing customers on the call, and I see their faces, so I smile. And we're just really obsessed with solving problems for you guys. Like that's our big thing. So if we can help solve some of those problems and headaches for you, and those help in turn solve the problems and headaches for your customers, we grow, Kevin and Grace's community, everybody kind of wins in the mix. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. So just wanted to say thank you and give you a good old smiley face at the end. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen for a second and see if we have any questions.
I mean, Mr. Dan, through our website through CleanPixel, can I write a blog through there?
Yep. Yep.
Is
Yeah,
it,
we can do that, or we can do the medium way. Either one is up to you. We could talk about it one-on-one if you want. We could set up a call.
no problem. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, awesome. Like I said, this is one of our first or second free trainings that we're doing. We're going to be doing more. The next one, I believe, is going to be MailChimp. I'm going to do a MailChimp training. And I'll label it not just MailChimp, but it's any email marketing software, Constant Contact, Active Campaign, whatever. They're all kind of the same thing. But we'll be doing a free training. I'll get back with Kevin and Grace on what we want to coordinate the schedule for it. But I definitely want to go over that because, man, if you're not sending your customers a monthly newsletter at least as like a bare minimum, and like your typical holidays, towards the end of the year, and kind of thank yous, and into the new year, looking at 2025 and what's to come. And so it's a huge missed opportunity for engagement with your customers, right? And so unfortunately, sometimes when customers leave, there's a lot of reasons why customers leave, whether it's a financial reason, sometimes, whether it's a quality reason, whether it's they want to do it themselves or they went with a competitor. For the ones where they go with a competitor, there's ways that you can consistently keep kind of touch points and engagement. And I think email is a great way to do that. So we'll have more training on that probably in the next few weeks, next 2 to 3 weeks. I'll try to keep these. Is 2 to 3 weeks every 2 to 3 weeks too much for you guys? I just want to ask that feedback real quick. No? Okay. And I'll try to keep it tight within like a 30 to 45-minute window, just because I don't want to. You guys are super busy. I know that for sure. Phoenix, go ahead. So you raised your hand. I saw you went on mute, but off mute but I can't hear you. All right, cool. Well, I will drop a link, by the way, for anybody that's on this call to our site, just in case if you haven't signed up for CleanPixel or if you're interested in booking a one-on-one. I just put it in the little chat here on the meeting as well. And I hope you all have a good rest of your Thursday, a great rest of the week, and stay tuned for the next series of free training. All right, take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you.